And in today's episode, we're going to talk about what's going on really behind the scenes.
It's been a long time since we had just a regular catch-up episode. And I mean, things are happening every single day. And God, time moves so fast sometimes. It's... we need to do a catch-up. We have a lot of things to talk about, discuss.
We realized because we had... so we were just chatting a little bit before we hit the record, and it was like, oh, this is going to be a long episode again. I don't even remember when we last made a catch-up, but I think it was maybe in 2025 when we kind of summarized the year and some of our plans moving forwards. But since we recorded that episode, a lot of things has happened. One of the things I do remember is that you decided to not work full-time on your freelance, right? You have less working hours now. So how is that going for you in the new year?
Yeah, and I mean, it has. I have said that I maximum will work 80%. I can work a little bit less as well. And now in January it has been a little bit slower start. So I have been working maybe, I don't know, a little bit over 50%. It depends a little bit from day to day and week to week. But it has actually been quite nice because then I have had time to. I mean, we haven't really started. I haven't, on my side, haven't really started working on the book yet, but it has been on my mind. But I have actually been sewing. I have been at the wedding store and done some. Have had several fittings, booked fittings with future brides, and I have done sewing there. I mean, also just repair a zip that has been broken, or do the hemming. I only do the easy alterations, which is like hemming, shorten the straps, adding something, small things, not like huge adjustments. But then when you actually look on the things that needs to be done on the dresses, like, yeah, those are pretty huge. Especially with the hems, it's just hemming, but it's so many layers and it's so little margins. If it's too long, too short, you can tell so easily. So it needs to be so spot on. So it's fun, nerve-wracking, and a little bit of anxiety as well. I mean, when you cut away the hem, the extra fabric, and it's you're doing a roll hem with basically zero margins if you cut it too short. Yeah, I mean, no pressure.
No, and for wedding dresses, maybe it costs, I don't know, like $1,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are not cheap. I mean,
and maybe it's one of a kind. Maybe in this store they have both new dresses and also second-hand dresses. And if it's a second-hand dress, I mean, there is no plan B, so to say, if the first one gets ruined or something. So yeah, it is high pressure. But it's fun. It is. I love working with my hands again and actually do some sewing, and being part of something else. Not just me sitting here alone with my computer, but actually having some colleague to talk to and discussing things. And even though I'm just helping out, I'm not part of that business in that sense, but still, I mean, sitting and chatting with them and hearing how they are discussing, it's just fun being part of, not community, but you know, being part of something. You get pretty lonely when you have your own business, so it's just nice to have a place to go to as well. So so that has been really fun. It's but slightly nerve-wracking as well.
Yeah, have you had any mishaps so far, or have all been going?
When I've sewn, I mean, first of all, replacing a zip that is broken on a dress that has so many layers of tulle. Oh my god, I don't know how many times I had to re-sew that to get it nice. And I kind of stabbed myself in the finger. I'm sewing by hand, so finger is fine, no problem there. But 2 drops of blood ended up on the dress, on the inside, on the lining. And we can all keep a secret here, right? But the best way to remove your own blood is to actually not spit on it, but
saliva, like touch of saliva.
Yeah, exactly.
Saliva.
Something with your own enzyme and your own blood, like it
no
disappears
idea.
then. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, don't tell anyone. I mean, you as a bride, you don't want to know that, right? But that is a tip. If you get blood on something, that it can actually disappear pretty easily with your own saliva.
Did it work?
Yeah, no problem. You don't see it, and it was on a lining, so it was on the inside anyway. Because sometimes, I mean, sensitive fabric obviously can also get like water stain, so
right.
it can be really sensitive. But no, this was on the lining on the inside, so it wouldn't. It's not showing anywhere, and it wasn't. How do you say? It wasn't a. It was a repair I did, so it's not. I don't know the person. We are all ignorantly blissed on who is gonna wear that
ignorant,
dress.
Right?
Yeah. So don't tell anyone else I said this, but
No.
that is a really good trick to remove the blood stain instantly.
Oh, wow.
You can't wait, and it can't be dried out or anything.
Okay,
but,
so you have to notice it. I'm completely blown away by this very nifty trick. You probably had a word in English for it, because like husmors trick in Sweden, like husmors tips, where it's like
the old grandma granny tip, like
right,
they know
like
how
hack.
to solve things.
They know the stuff. They know their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Wow. But do you also have? Are you present during the clients' fittings as well sometimes, or are you mostly you interacting with the shop owners, or? So what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, when we do have, I'm not there when the dresses are getting sold, but I'm there. If a bride buys a dress, then she can book a fitting with me if there is something that needs to be altered. So then we meet up later on a later time and do the fittings. And yeah, see what needs to be adjusted. And a fitting, I mean, it's very. They're not I haven't met any bridezillas yet, thankfully. I mean, they are super happy, super nice, and I mean it's a joyful occasion that they're getting married. So like they're happy people. So it's really nice, and I mean I'm used to having fittings. We had fittings 2 or 3 times a week when I was working at H&M. So I mean that's a common thing. Now it's a little bit, of course, different. You're talking to the client, and but still, that part is pretty easy. The difficult part is it's a completely different. When I, as a pattern maker, do a fitting within the industry, I think how to adjust the pattern, and then I will get a new sample. So I can do whatever with the patterns, like changes, no problems, because they will sew up a new sample. The problem here is that, no, but it is this dress. I know what adjustment I could be do if I sewn a new dress, but now the pattern pieces are sewn together. I can only adjust within the pieces that are there already. So that's a little bit trickier. So you can't, so sometimes it is like, I know how I would do this if I could sew up a new dress, but now this is it. This is what I have to work with. So how do I fix it then? So that's a little bit of a mind shift that I need to do.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm really curious now, in the workings of a wedding wear, is there like extra seam allowance or something like that, so to make it easier, or are they kind of constructed in a way that you?
Usually it's not just 1 centimeter; it's a 1.5 or 2 centimeters, depending a little bit on where it is as well. So in some places and some dresses do have that. But I mean, if it is a princess seam, for example, like curved seams, you can't have that wide seam allowance, because then it will be like the seam allowance will mess up. Yeah. So then there is no extra seam allowance in that case. But yeah, you need to a little bit take it case by case. But it's fun to work with your hands again. I have missed it, so it's nice.
Yeah, you seem so happy when you talk about it. You can definitely tell, and I because as you say, when you're working like you and I both do now, it's kind of isolated, and a lot of interactions is also done like on video calls or in similar manner, and and you don't really have that like day-to-day environment where you meet colleagues and talk about work and share work and do work together. So I totally get that. That's probably, I think probably to me the biggest, except for the financial part, the biggest downside of being on your own and running your own, regardless if you're like a freelancer or a business, but you're basically a business owner doing it yourself. And yeah, that's there's a type of energy that get lost a little bit, I think, when we all have to like sit in our corners and just stare into a screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, now it is peak season for doing alterations, because in Sweden most weddings are in the summer. So now it's alteration projects. But I mean, the store owner, she is like super sweet, and I was like, well, if you want to sew something and sell here, I mean, feel free. So I mean, my product developing brain is just like going on high speed, like, oh my god, there are so many things I want to do. Come on. But I'm not gonna focus on that now. Now I'm just gonna let all the ideas brew, and I do want to sew something for the summer, just so I can. I already have pictures in my brain of how Malena, my friend, who takes all my photos for my own samples, how she is gonna take pictures of things, so we then can market it in the fall, in the winter. But you kind of need the summer vibe photos for that. But yeah, I have ideas. I have like things I want to sew, and yeah, it's fun, and it's just fun to fantasize about these kind of things and think of all new ideas. And I need to start soon, later in the spring, try them out a little bit and do some tests and see if what will stick and what will actually work.
That's so exciting. And it's funny because, you know, we've been doing this podcast for about 2 years now, and who knew that in 2026 you'd actually turn, you know, working at the bridal shop and, you know, thinking about designing dresses. So
yeah, that's a thing. I mean, you need to pivot sometimes as well. And I mean, this was never in my like idea intention, like this is where I wanted to go. But the opportunity came, and it was like too good to say no to. So it's like, well, sure, I have to try it. I have to help out. And I mean, now I'm helping out because the person who is usually doing all the sewing is on a maternity leave. We don't know what will happen in the future. So I mean, this is maybe not my forever job in the future as well. So we'll see what will happen. But for now, it is a really fun change to the ordinary freelance, just sitting at my computer doing work alone. So it's a nice change. But you have had quite a lot of the opposite work, just sitting alone, doing not the most fun thing.
No,
maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way. Because I've been staring into a computer screen for 1.5 months. Since the early days of December, I have been staring into a computer screen 24/7 but I'm working 6 to 7 days a week. And why, you may ask? Is there a new exciting pattern launch? No, it's coming, but not right now. Am I working on our upcoming book? No, even though it's going to happen soon. No. It's those dreadful things that you have to deal with when you are running your own business and have to be everything and everyone. So to give a backstory, I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast, but back in early December, I realized that my website, dealostitch.com, which is basically a WordPress blog, it had started to break down because you buy these like themes, a design template, and then those companies, they disappear and there are no updates, and, you know, you just, every year something breaks. So all of a sudden I was like, I was going to link to a tutorial in one of my newsletters. I'm like, I don't want to link this because it looks so much is off. So I decided, okay, just have to now, like late December, January is usually a slower period. in this business as well. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna redesign the website from scratch, update everything, change the theme. And so that I was basically obsessed. And that's the thing, you know, I have to, if you didn't know that, I do everything. I mean, I do everything except for drafting the patterns, which Malena does. Everything else in my business is what I do myself. So I started with redesigning the website, trying to make it a bit more contemporary. So that took me like 2 weeks of like 7 day a week job. But I will show it now, actually. So if you're watching the video version, you can see how it looks now. There are a couple of tweaks, but you can always do better. But I will definitely try to. I think it's acceptable, and of course now I'm showing it on the screen. The desktop, but it looks really nice on the...
remade it, did you make it still in WordPress, or have you like changed the structure?
No, I still use WordPress, because there are a couple of different options. I know you use Wix, right?
Yeah.
So there are a couple of... Probably a lot of listeners have heard ads for Wix and Squarespace. Those are services with built-in templates, so that means you don't really have to know that much about web design.
No, this
and
is
you can still
very much
create
drag and drop and
exactly.
No
exactly.
coding, absolutely. But
No.
do you do codes?
No, yes, I can code, but I actually used AI this time to help me. But also there are templates, and there are like visual page builder similar to what you do in Wix or Squarespace. You can drag and drop, so you don't have to do everything yourself. But there's so much tweaks going on, and then of course it has to look good on a big horizontal screen. It has to look nice on a tablet. It has to look really good on a mobile phone, because that's where the majority of the traffic comes now. So
this is like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. It's terrible. But I am also probably the most stubborn person I know. So, which is also why I sometimes burn out, because when I decide to do something, I get such a like laser focus. I am up like 2 o'clock in the night, because I feel like I have to, in quotation marks, to do this.
You need to finish it.
Yeah, I need to finish it. So this is the look of it now. And can you see it now?
Yeah, it is loading. Yep. Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. It looks... I mean, not that your website looked bad before, but this looks so much fresh, so much up to date, contemporary, as you said. Really lovely first pictures. I really like that.
So I tried to do like a header, like more like a fashion, because I wanted to like draw a bit more attention to my sewing patterns as well. I mean, obviously I have lots of tutorials and things, and also like working on my my tagline. So I changed it to like modern sewing simplified. So that's a tagline, and I also show my courses, and we also have the podcast on the first page with the latest episode. And, links to my courses and some reviews that I've really lovely reviews I got for the courses. And I've also started a blog again. So I'm going to highlight the blog a bit more and lift it up a little bit. So we will link to the website. You can go and check for yourself if you're not watching the video version. But yeah, it was a lot of work. And of course, so much like organization behind the scenes as well. Just trying to get everything to look nice and professional. Which is
and these the downside of the positive thing about being a small company, then it's like but it's pretty easy update. It's not so much to do. But in that sense you are a big company, because you have so much material, so and also different types of products and everything, so it just gave me a headache thinking about how to do the website and get everything working. It's bravo. And you updated the how do you say, Shopify as well, right?
Yeah, I've updated the Shopify store as well, which I finished 10 minutes before we started to record this podcast. That was why I was 10 minutes late. So
oh my god.
Yes, and that has also taken me several weeks for the same reason, basically. I have a really old theme. I started my Shopify site in 2019. The one that did that theme, like the design of it, those are long gone. They don't update their theme, so it's probably like leaking everywhere. I have no idea. I'm glad that I haven't been like a victim of a cyber attack or who knows, but... And also, everything has changed. So I decided to tackle that as well, which took me so many weeks as well.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what it means to have create your own Shopify web shop. This is two reasons why I sell on Etsy, because I don't have to deal with the VAT taxes to all different countries, and I don't have to create my own web shop. I do have on my website like shop using quotation marks where I have all my products displayed, but when you click on my patterns, it's basically a link to my Etsy shop then, so you get transferred to the Etsy directly, so you don't buy anything from my side, even though it might look a little bit like that. But it just gives me like no. Just thinking about creating a web shop. Yeah, but you did it.
Yeah, I did it. Also, I should say again, it was really helpful this time to have AI, because Shopify now has a built-in AI. So when you get a like a theme, a lot of things look really horrible and you don't like but then I could just basically tell AI, hide those ugly icons from me, please. And then they do something with the code, and then a lot of things disappear. So I'm going to show, of course, everyone watching the video version as well. I'm like, who am I going to show? Yes,
but is
you.
it AI in the in Shopify, or is it like
Shopify has an assistant basically. Okay, Shopify has an assistant, which I found out while we're in the midst of it, basically, and so that was super helpful. So again, I'm going to try to I think the design is nice and very clean, because again, everyone is on mobile, so I don't want to I don't have to overdo things. But so this is the new shop storefront. So first of all, I'm always going to highlight some products that are seasonal. So now there are accessories on the top, and then I have the sewing patterns and my ebooks listed with lots of it's easier to navigate. And I'm also going to show, if you go to, this is what took the longest time. So I tried to modernize it now. If you go to any nice online clothing store, you can see they have lots of tabs. Just a short description, and then you get when you open the tabs, you get how you can see the girly top, all the pattern theaters, and fabric and notions, what kind of fabrics you need, how much. So you sizing, PDF info, how the PDF patterns, because I also updated and now I also projected files for all my patterns, which I did as well. And also I'm really happy now because I also organized for all my sewing patterns. Basically, I have a sew along. So under the tutorials tab, if you click that, you go straight to the sew along, which I also first link to the patterns, and then you see all the tutorials. And on some of the ones I've also done a video, a blog where I sew the thing, and I also link that up as well. So as you can see, I think it's really easy now to navigate, and hopefully if you buy one of my patterns, you will find it really easy to get extra inspiration and information. So yes,
nice.
Thank you.
Imagine that this has been a lot of work, and on top of that, you have updated basically all your PDF patterns as well, and have done a review on that as well. This is new year, new me, new business. Everything is polished, refreshed. Everything is, you're on top of everything now. But what have you done on the PDF pattern? You said you added the projector files.
Yes, I've added projector files, and also because I wanted to add projector files, and we regularly hear from listeners that are curious about projector files, that are using projector files, and would like to see, to have our patterns as projector files. And up until recently, only my latest, the Vida knit pants were projector files, but basically when you start to do one thing, it creates a domino effect, and then I was like, okay, I need to
with
add
the website and shop
and then
PDF
and then I
patterns.
realized, okay, Johanna, you need to go, and then I would add projector files, and then I realized, okay, you haven't looked on, like really go over your patterns and your instruction with a fine comb, what you could comb with it, like a very fine, like with a detailed eye, with a magnifying glass. And I was like, okay, when I do this relaunch, I also need to go through everything, make sure that I format it even better, so that, because we talk a lot about ink and the waste of ink on this podcast, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't waste any unnecessary ink for anyone who wants to print the instructions as well. So I just cleaned up a little bit, reduced the number of colors, and reduced the amount of black, but still try to keep a clean look. And I also updated the pattern covers as well, and just freshened up the design a little bit to make it even more printer friendly. So that's what I'm going to also show you. So watch the video version.
Yeah, this is when you think that, I don't have that many patterns, this will go quickly, but oh my god,
it took weeks.
It
took weeks. Yes. So can
and
you
it's
see
not that your pattern has been bad, but it's just that, you know, when you evolve years after years, like new fonts or new colors or like small things, and like the layout you want to like slightly improve to your new standards, and things we get to know also. I mean, the whole PDF business is evolving constantly, and new good ideas comes up, and then you want to, of course, have all your patterns up to the same level, basically.
Yeah, and the bar keeps getting raised. I mean,
absolutely.
If sewing patterns instruction from 10 years ago, they do not look the same that they do today.
No.
I mean, so I cleaned up the front page
really
now. So
nice.
Oh, thank you. So it's very clean, like everything's very clean. If you're watching the video version, you can see I really like, I'm thinking everyone is on mobile. I want to make sure that everything is clean as possible, both with the website and my shop, and this goes for the patterns as well. So here you can see the instructions. I changed the typography to make it very well readable, both if you print it out or if you choose to not print the instructions and watch them on a screen. So here you can see when I'm just rolling through, and of course I also do like technical illustrations for every step as well. So I just looked over the instruction, found some really annoying typos. They are now fixed. So it was a good thing that I looked through it. So these are the instructions as well, if you're curious on how it looks. And if you're not familiar with my sewing patterns, hopefully you got an idea as well of what you can expect.
Yeah, but did you do on the actual patterns as well? Did you do anything on that as well?
Yes, I did. I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah, I did. What I did was
basic. As well. I think that's also so fascinating to actually see like the patterns.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we're going to see here if I can.
Because that's a little bit funny. I noticed on Instagram, for example, when I share, I mean, a selfie usually gets the most likes, because that, of course, is relatable, and I understand that. But something that also gets a lot of like attention on Instagram is when I post picture from the sewing instructions, like with illustrations, or when I actually show like pictures from the actual patterns, like the more technical things. I think that might stand out a little bit on the Instagram feed with the. It breaks up from all these photos that you usually share. So, and I love that. I love seeing these kinds of photos and pictures of technical things. So
that's a very good point. Because I've been so busy. I'm going to start sharing now on Instagram behind the scenes. So that's really good to know. And it's always interesting because every pattern company has their own little ways of doing things. And now, of course, last week I worked on developing the templates for our sewing book as well. And again, that brings another dimension to it. How do you best design when it's going to be print on large format paper, and then you're going to trace the patterns? But yes, I would definitely share that as well. So, of course, if you're curious about my sewing patterns, they are PDF files with layered sizing. Most of my patterns are from size 32 to, is it 56? 56, right, thank you. And that's size 0 to, I think,
24.
24, right. Yeah, US sizes. The Isla leggings, my first pattern, has 2 sizes less, but generally speaking, that's the size range I have. And that, of course, entails a lot of layers and things you need to figure out as well. So, and then I also have a copy shop, because a lot of people now like to print large format. And now, of course, I also have projector files. So it's basically A4 letter, copy shop, and projector files. So I'm going to show both here. Thank you for asking, Malena.
No, but this is okay. I might be biased since I am a pattern maker, but I think this is so much more interesting to see than actually the pictures. But again, might be a little bit biased here.
Yeah, so now I am viewing the copy shop version where you can get like a better of the girly top, where you can get a better view. So I have the sizing, and I also added like I also have where you show how to hide and show the layers on the PDF files as well, just in case. And those are obviously easier to do than the where you use a letter in A4, because that's a little bit more fiddly, I guess. So this is the copy shop version of the girly top pattern, and over here now you can see each page. When I have lots of different options, not on the girly top, because that's a very straightforward pattern with not that many pieces, but for instance on some of the patterns where I have a bit more pages and elaborate, then I also have a size guide, so it shows exactly which page you can create depending on which styles you want to, or print depending on which styles you want to sew. So I try to be mindful about not having people to having to print something that they don't need, basically.
Yeah, I mean that you can with the layout on how you place the pattern pieces on the papers, like how do you distribute them. You can be pretty mindful about that when you design it, so you the customer doesn't have to waste a lot of printing paper.
So for instance, here on the Isla leggings that I'm showing right now, you can see I have like a size guide, the leggings pieces, the waistband for the regular and the pocket options. So you can see page 20 if you just want to print a zipper pocket. The gusset is on page 11 if you want to add that. So I just tried as much as I possibly can to simplify the experience, because we all know that printing PDF patterns is a little bit of a hurdle. So I try to like really think about the end user, and I guess that's helpful as well, because I started myself sewing with PDF patterns, so that's before I started to make my own. So I did have a lot of thoughts going into it, but it's even though I thought I did a pretty good job, I definitely found several areas where I could improve. But this has taken so much energy, so I'm not gonna lie, I am definitely really, really spent now, but and also now I'm talking about it, I'm all like overwhelmed by all the stuff that I've done.
But are you
like
9 completely patterns done now with everything?
I am completely, of course there are always tweaks. I'm pretty much completely done. Yeah, so that's so nice, and I guess the value of doing all this, even though it doesn't generate money in the short term, it is that it's so nice to know that you get your basics covered, that you're building for the future. And hopefully I really want to start to release more new sewing patterns, and I definitely want to make sure that when I do that I am doing it on a solid ground, that I don't have to like update in 6 months, that all the systems are working, I have the structures, I have the templates, and a way of really, keeping everything well organized as well, within my own pattern library. But yeah, that I hope everyone is listening. You can watch the video version, but this is the very technical stuff of being like, because we're very technical persons. We have to do all these things. I mean, our customers are online, so we have to make sure that the digital experience, regardless if it's visiting a website or visiting the shop or buying a pattern, that is solid and feels worth your while. So
it's so true. And if somebody buys your latest pattern but then also wants to buy an older pattern, they maybe don't realize that, but this is like 4 or 5 years old. When they get it, I don't want the customers to like, I can tell this is the older like it looks older. It's like, no, everything needs to be on the same level as the latest pattern. So I totally understand that you want to keep everything on top. I'm also working on that now. I think I have made projector files for all my patterns. I haven't launched them yet, but they are done. But I am in the same starting phase as you with the patterns, that I want to look through them, like update a couple of things, see if I missed any typos, anything like those kind of things, that when you have fresh eyes and you start to look at them again, you will notice it so easily. When you're in it, when you're doing it, you can't tell, but after a while you get fresh eyes again. So I definitely need to do that. I have put a pause on it. I'm gonna start doing it someday, but not right now. I need because I know I need to have dedicated time to be able to really focus on this. I can't do it like half an hour here and next week maybe a quarter, like an hour or something, and then 2 weeks later it's like, no, I need to have dedicated time when I can focus on it. I have, because you check so many different things and you need to keep them in mind all the time, so it's going to take a lot of time. But now, like, you can take a little bit of a couple of days a week, something, relax, be happy about this. But now the next question is, so how are you going to market the PDF, the projector files and everything, the new relaunch? How are you going to do it?
I'm going to do it what's going to happen after we record this podcast is, of course, that I'm going to send out on my newsletter where I'm going to promote this and tell the backstory. And of course, I will also do a flash sale to celebrate the fact that I have done this relaunch of the patterns. Now, if you're listening to the podcast, of course, this flash sale will be over. But I will make sure that when we publish this podcast, there will be a link to an exclusive flash sale for you that are listening or watching for this podcast as well. That will also be open for 48 hours. So you have to hurry to click that link if you want to get the offering, and that you have to click that link with that special code. So that's the thing. And I also definitely want to talk more about it, as you say, because I think now we're talking about this on the podcast, but I think also, of course, both on my blog and on Instagram, I want to share the stories of what it's like, and doing this behind the scenes, and basically just trying to level up my business. And I feel like now that I have a bit more time and not doing 2 jobs, I feel like it's time now to start to step into bigger shoes, even though from a short-sighted perspective it doesn't generate sales, which of course if I am able to produce more products, that's like a bigger monetary gain. But I feel for me now to know that I'm proud of everything, that everything has been really, really under the microscope and checked and double-checked and modernized, and that is a very comfortable feeling, because back in my mind for the last few years, I kind of felt that a lot of my business is held together with duct tape, basically, and also when you also have another job, and you kind of know that your website is slowly like disintegrating, that's not top of your list, because you have to like just get your business running, keeping up with the bookkeeping, customer service, logistics with my print books, all those things. So everything that isn't like high priority, that gets thrown away. And for me now, I feel if someone goes to my website now or want to buy a pattern, I'm very proud of the customer experience, and to me that is that helps me to be motivated to move forward as well, because now I feel confident in the stuff that goes behind the scene, even though I don't think a lot of people will notice, but to me it means so much, and that helps me to take like bigger steps in my business, I hope, at least.
Yeah, but it's also completely different, or at least for me, like if I know something is like top notch and solid foundation, I can market it in a different way. Right now, I don't want to market my old PDF patterns really before I have had a look through on them. I mean, I know they are like pretty decent standard, like I'm proud of that, but like I know things can be improved. So I'm not feeling comfortable with like posting a lot of pictures on them because it's like, well, I want to look through them, so I know what I'm talking about. I know they are good, but you know, we have the same feeling about that. But are you going to do any marketing outside of your group? Like, I'm talking specifically about the Facebook group for Projektor Sewings that has 90,000 people or something. You need to make a post there and say, hey, now I have done Projektor files on all my patterns. Ta-da. You need to do that.
Am I allowed to do that as a business owner?
Yeah, I think you can do.
Right, I had no idea.
No, I think you can.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what they have rules on promotions, but I mean, if as long as you're clear, like me promoting my own brand or like sharing that now. Yeah,
okay, I'm going to check the terms and conditions to do that. I definitely want to not overstep any of the community guidelines, but if it's possible, that would be lovely to do, because that is a problem. Because when we talk about promotion, I mean, most communities, as they should, have guidelines, because otherwise it would be the wild west, and it would be like useful for the users of a community. But there is, I think that's the biggest struggle for me right now, is that I feel, and which is another thing I have to work on, but I my exposure isn't really growing, so I am kind of stuck with the audience that I have. Of course, I get more people on my newsletter list every month, but it's not as big as it would need to be for me to make it more sustainable. So I'm going to check that out.
You have a completely new customer group. It's not the PDF printing people anymore. Like you also have the Projektor people. And you want to reach them. And I think in that group, I think there are two main focuses. It's like, help me calibrate my Projektor. What am I doing wrong? And which pattern companies provides Projektor files? It's like those two questions. So I think it's like they appreciate if you are spreading the words that, hey, I am making Projektor files now. Like it will be appreciated. Because they are constantly searching for new companies, or like companies that does it, because that's what they want to do. They are over printing patterns. So they only want to know which companies do the Projektor files.
That's so early author to do PDF patterns. They're like, welcome to the future. And we're going to talk about Projektor patterns, because I know you have something to say about that as well. But just a side note. And then I forgot the thread. I will probably pick it up later on, but yes.
Yeah, speaking of actually,
yes, you have some experience now, right?
I mean, oh my God, my plotter, my ongoing nemesis. Long story short, my plotter, I have a. Do you say plotter as well in English, or is it just a Swedish word? Big printer that has a roll, is like 60 centimeters wide, 24 inches. And mine broke down, or the ink leaked, and it was like, you can try to repair it, but it's no guarantees, and that was so expensive anyway. And I was like, this is also like thing with being your own boss. It's like you have to take all the decisions, and sometimes it's really tough, like which direction should I go, what should I do, can somebody just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But I was struggling, like, should I buy a new plotter then, or try to repair my old one, or is this the perfect opportunity to actually go into Projektor sewing like 100%. So I bought a small Projektor. I haven't been able, the downside with that one, I haven't been able to connect it to my computer. I haven't checked with my husband yet if he magically can do it or not. I have been able to connect it to my iPhone, so that was no problem, and I could project it. But then also, since it's such a small Projektor, I think it's like a little simplified, so like getting the calibration and like it was really manual. I will try to, I actually projected it on the wall and just made sure it was 90 degrees like angle from the wall, and moved it back and forth basically so I could get the right size. all the projector people are like laughing at me probably, and I was like, that's not how you calibrate a projector. I know I know there's an app for this, I know, but this is quick and dirty. It was when I did the samples for our new t-shirt, the book, so I just like, okay, it needs to be sold now. So I did it on towards the wall. I had papers on the wall, and then I drafted it, like I drew patterns, and then I used that pattern to actually cut it on the table, because I couldn't mount it from the ceiling, or I didn't have any stand for it or anything. But it was also like just trying to like projector. Is it like, is that the way to go? Should I buy a little proper good one that can be all the time calibrated and I always have it there? Is just turn it off, turn it on, use it or not? But I have come to the conclusion that I'm a pattern maker. If I have a client that needs to get patterns because they are gonna produce stuff, I need to be able to provide them with physical patterns. So no, I ended up buying a new plotter. And here, since I knew that
money out,
money, yes,
money.
There was an expense that I didn't really want to have now in, I think it was January, end of December. Anyway, but yeah, I'm a professional. I need my equipment, otherwise I can't do my job. So I bought one, and I already printed several patterns on it for the wedding store. So I was like, yeah, I need it. I have to have it. Yeah. So I'm not a projector person yet. No, but I was very happy with the choosing of the projector, because that was also the plotter. That was the next, like, okay, I'm gonna buy one, but which one? And then I just I don't want HP. Those are usually pretty decent price, but that was what I had, and I don't want to say I'm bitter, but I'm a little bit bitter.
But a little bit, yes, a little bit.
So yeah,
it's been like a long story of the plotter, and the leaking cartridge and the HP proprietary cartridge, and it's a thing. We are
So I asked you what do you have? I looked it up, and I bought it. So that is so nice. Yeah. Because also it's so nice to have the same. It's like, okay, if I have any questions, like, probably we can figure it out together if I need anything.
Right.
And I have been able to set it up. I can print things out. I feel a little bit like, am I the IT department now as well? Like, hello.
Yeah.
I feel so good about myself. Like, ridiculously proud that I've been able to do it without any help from my husband. So yeah, I got it. I'm happy about it. I will post some pictures of it. It does not look pretty at all, but it's there. So yeah.
Yeah. It's a colossal thing, but man, am I happy to have it. And also, I will say, when you decided to buy, because I bought mine, I think about 2 or 3 years ago. That was my first ever plot, so I had no experience. And so when you asked which one, I was a little bit nervous. I just hope the Malena likes it, because otherwise I feel so bad, because I had no experience.
I have done research as well.
Yeah.
No, I had done some research, and I mean, there are not that many brands, and also at a certain price level. So this was like one of the contenders I was thinking about. And then when you said that, you have that one, I was like, perfect. I'll do it. I'll take it. So yeah, no pressure on you.
How good. Because I realized we didn't mention the brand name, right? Are we going to name some names?
Yeah, I mean, we are not sponsored. I bought it for ridiculously...
Epson,
I mean, it's Epson printer. I will... I don't know the number now, but I'll add pictures on it. But yeah, so far so good. It's... I mean... we just print out black lines basically. It's not like photorealistic colors. Like I no idea how it works there. I just want black lines. I would, if I could, I would buy a plotter that only has black colors or black ink.
Right.
I don't need the other colors. It's just annoying when you have to buy those and refill them because they get old.
It's so annoying, and especially because I realized that because I was trying to, because I just print black. Then I was, but it refused to print when there were no fill cartridges inside the box of the other colors. I mean, I'm sure everyone who's listening had the same experience. I mean, what is this? I mean, talk about, ripping the customers off, trying to force us to buy really expensive cartridges that we don't even use just to be able to access the black one. I mean, don't get me started on that, because that's what we wanted to get the plotter thing going, because it's so upsetting with the printer stuff.
No, and sometimes like they make these products. I mean, sure, some products need to be really advanced because you do advanced things. Sure, there's a customer group for that. But I feel sometimes with phones as well, like all technology, like there is a segment customer group for the best of the best, but there can also be like, but this is the basic simplest. We just want to print black and white. We don't need colors. Phones simplified, so the kids understand it. Or when I grow old, I still can figure out how to do things. Like there is a range of quality and how not quality, but like how advanced things needs to be. So can we dumb it down? Like not the smartest, the best invention. Like keep it simple. Keep it a little bit. Don't complicate things. And it's but the expense was. I mean, it is a lot of money, of course, but it's not like astronomical. But man, this. Start of this year, it has been like expenses flying out. Like money has been disappearing. I actually did buy now the subscription for a whole year of Clo 3D, which is a pattern program. The grading is not top notch. So annoying, but still, like doing doing patterns in one size. Perfect. So if you have like clients just one size, great. Print it out, pattern later as well. Then perfect. So now I can do some work there. But that was also like $450, just like that. And then I got the renewal on my website, also around $400. And the plotter was, I don't remember exactly now if it was $600, $700, excluding the taxes.
Something like that.
Money is flying.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't want to know when I need to renew the Illustrator program, the subscription there as well. It's just annoyingly money that, But it costs to have a business, unfortunately.
It costs a bit of business, and that's easy to forget sometimes. You think, I just have to pay myself a salary, but you have to pay so many other expenses. I've been in the same situation. I mean, January is usually also like a slow month when it comes to sales, December, January. And I had to buy a new laptop. It was a refurbished laptop because my battery broke. It was like an old but refurbished laptop I had to buy. I had to buy the new Shopify subscription. That's like a yearly thing as well, for the eShop and the Adobe, because I have to have the professional suite. I think it's like €600, something like that. So it's a lot
Adobe,
of money.
Isn't it more if you? I only have Illustrator, so then it's a little bit cheaper. But if you want to have Photoshop or InDesign and everything, it's a lot.
Maybe it's a little bit more. Yeah, maybe it was €800. Maybe you're probably right. Yeah, I think it maybe was that. I think they maybe increased the prices as well. Yeah. So that's So I've had lots of expenses as well, and I was like doing my bookkeeping yesterday. I'm like, cash flow. So
I mean, luckily we don't need to buy. No, but luckily, I mean, these expenses are like once a year, and it's tough when you get them. But then, I mean, the cost you kind of need to think also to like they are spread out over 100%. The whole year, and I mean, the plotter obviously it's gonna last several years. But I am also like just praying that my computers, I mean, they are really old with now this Windows 11 update. They are still Windows 10, and I don't think they are compatible for Windows 11. So I think that there's a deadline for how long I can have them. And also, I mean, my iPhone, I don't know which number or model this is, but I mean, you can see on it has one camera, not two, not three, one. I mean, that's how old I am.
It's amazing that it's still working and it still has battery. I mean, that's probably the most...
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it is. It's not like I don't even know the number, but I think it's like an XR SE, like more... It's not that old, but it's just that kind of a model. But no, it is slow. Sometimes it's just I have to shut everything down and restart it for it to be able to work. And also, when you take pictures, it's not good enough. Like so that's also I need to soon. I'm gonna have to buy a new phone, not just because it's fun to have new things, but because like I need it. So that's also annoying future expense. But luckily, since you have a business, my company can buy it then, so I don't have to buy it since I need it for work. I need a camera. I need to use it for work, so I can have it as a office expense. What do you say?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's annoying.
That's definitely why it's but it's very annoying. And still, even if it's an office expense, there's no such as free money. I mean, if I have to pay, I also have to pay myself a salary. So if I have to go out and, buy a lot of stuff for my company, that means less money to pay myself a salary. So it all like ties together, unfortunately. But it's very good that you have that possibility for sure. But the reality is, even if one runs a really streamlined business with a lot of like do-it-yourself stuff that both you and I employ, it's still money. And we have. I don't know. Maybe we have already posted that interview. We have done our first ever interview with Emily Hunt of In the Falls, and she did a really good blog post recently when she broke down all the expenses around creating one sewing pattern, all the things that goes into that, and
I haven't seen it. I don't dare to see it.
No. And then because we talked about it on the episode where she was on, and then she said that someone who really know bookkeeping and accounting had contacted her and say those numbers are way off, meaning it's even more expensive. So
yeah, that's the thing. If I would have any business coach or anything, that person would be like, so this PDF part of your business, what are you thinking there? How are your thoughts? Well, I mean, it's my passion project, so... And we have to have that as well. So, it's fine. But no, it's... So it's this is the boring side of having a business. Like, you need to be realistic about your expenses. Make a budget before you do start a business, or if you just have it set on the side, I mean, then it's fine if you're not relying on that income. But numbers, they are important too. So
numbers, they matter.
Absolutely,
100%. And that's the main reason why I haven't released more garment sewing patterns. Currently I have 4. I'm working on my 5th, but is the fact that the most income for me are from my books, the print and ebooks, and my sewing courses, my video sewing courses. So if you pile them all up, it's the math tells the story, and that's why I don't release more sewing patterns. It's definitely something that I love design, and I love the creative process of figuring out the pattern and design and the photos and all the presentations. I really like doing the instructions, but it's really hard to take home that cost in a way that, as you say, someone who's thinking about the profit and loss situation would not be like, okay, that's not where you should put your focus. So that's definitely why I am not more proficient when it comes to releasing new sewing pattern. It's entirely business. I mean, if I had the choice, I would love to release new sewing patterns all the time, but nope.
But you do have
right
something,
now.
moving on from boring financial talk.
100%.
You do have something in the pipeline when it comes to new patterns.
Yes, I do.
What are your plans?
Yes, and I am releasing a new sewing pattern. It's going to be a knit blouse with yoke and some gathers, and most importantly, it's going to be I think it's called a passé bow blouse, like a bow tie blouse with long sleeves, so you can tie. It comes with different versions of the tie, so you can tie it up like think about like a passé bow blouse, I think it's called in English. So I printed out the sample that Malena has made for me. Thank you, because she is the genius behind my sewing patterns. And on my lovely plotter printer, because then again I was like so grateful that I have the printer.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually filmed it and I'm going to post it on Instagram, because the joy of seeing those full-size pattern pieces being printed out, and also thick paper, and I'm like, I want to cry. The beauty of having a large full-format printer. So I'm with you there. It's hard to replace. So I just cut out the pieces, and so I'm going to start sewing a sample, hopefully this weekend.
Okay. Nice. But that is such a good palette cleanser as well, from your behind the scene huge massive update on website, Shopify, all PDF patterns. Now you get to do something new, something fresh, and I mean, for you who are used to making video courses and books, PDF pattern is like, I mean, not like that done, but it's kind of a small project compared to the other ones.
Yeah. True, very true. That's very true, because exactly like that. Even though it does take time, it still doesn't compare. I mean, it's not like a year-long project, hopefully. It never has been so far. And now also because I've done all the behind the scenes, redoing all the PDF patterns and instructions, clean them up and reformatting and I have it now top of mind. So as soon as possible, I will start doing everything, the formatting, so I can have it like fresh in my head. Because then I think it's not going to be that time consuming at all, because I feel like now it's fresh now. So we'll see. Hopefully, the plan is to launch it in March. We'll see. I can't make any promises because,
soon,
but fingers crossed.
No, but I mean, you have done all the groundwork. Then to how to do the patterns and the instructions, you have so much done already before. So it's just, doing this one now, it's not going to take that much time, I think. And I guess since a lot of sewing steps are similar as well to your... I forget the names.
The girly top. The girly top I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Yeah, this is the time you're when you're like, yes, I'm doing smart work now. I'm using what I got and I elevate it. I create new products out of it, but it's not like completely new. So you can use so much of what you already have done already. Yeah. So it's going to be so much easier.
That's very true. Yeah, I hope that. I really hope that, and I'm also basing it on the same basic pattern as the girly top. So if you have that and you like the fit of it, this top is also going to fit in a similar way. So that's also really good. Like, I nail the fit, I know the sizing, I feel confident in that. So that's also really nice, instead of trying to do like a garment that's completely different and then you have to start from scratch, like trying to figure out how will the size be and the size grading and everything. So hopefully. But now I need to take like a break before.
Yeah, now you need now you need a little bit of a break.
I'm so tired right now. I'm feeling I'm even just talking about all the stuff I've been through like the last half a month. I'm so like, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, but I think you have worked quite a lot of weekends as well now lately, so you need a couple of days
every weekend. Yeah,
you need like you can take a couple of days off now with good conscience, or you need to take a couple of days off, because otherwise you can do a lot of work in a short amount of time, but then you need to have a break afterwards. So do that. That's the next thing on your to-do list.
Yeah, yes, I will listen to you. And I mean, this has been such a massive update, and we haven't even really talked about the updates to our book as well. But I think we're going to do a separate episode with that, just talking about, because we asked for feedback in a recent episode, and we got loads of feedback and really great suggestions, and we have some updates as well. And also, we could, I think, answer some of the questions that we got as well, so we can talk about that. But we'll do that in a separate episode, I think. Otherwise, so. It's going to be a 2-hour episode. But I just
as we said in the beginning,
so
we are
happy for everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since we had a catch up. We have lots of things to talk about, so
yes,
we need to do. It can't be too long until next catch up. But yeah, super thanks for all the feedback. It's so nice to be able to bounce ideas of you guys and hear what you think, and be able to pivot, because we are laying the foundation now of the book, so it's really easy to do changes if we need to now, compared to if we have done the book and then we would ask for feedback. Then it would be like, no, sorry, it's done, I can't change it. But now we are in the perfect stage of like, we can tweak things now, not in half a year.
No, that would be such a bummer. Sorry, the book is already way to the great suggestion, but unfortunately the book is already on the way to the printer. Like, no. So that's why it's good that we don't actually have much to show for it now, because now we're able to really like nail everything. And there's so many, as we talked about in that episode, so many big and small details that you can think about and tweak about and take decisions around. So, but we at least we have named all the styles now. I'm definitely going to share those as well, I think, in a future episode, if you're curious about what are the t-shirts going to be called and how are they going to be described, which was one of the things that we kind of struggled with in that episode.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an ongoing
Thank you
the book update.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be its own thing. I am completely spent now. I also mentioned previously I slept like 4 hours this night, because I was my brain was on overload with the Shopify update. So I apologize if I've been all over the place, rambling today, but I'm just trying to keep it together. Hopefully it made sense.
You need some time off.
Thank you for guiding me, Malena, in this. Yeah, I do. All right then. We, of course, again want to thank you for following us along and cheering us on, and of course, all the things that we try to talk about here, and the inside of running a sewing business. And of course, if you want to get in touch, you can follow us on Stitch and Tales Pod over at Instagram, or we also have a YouTube channel, and of course, we also have an email address, stitchandtalespod@gmail.com. If you have something to say, something to share, we would love to get your feedback.
Yes.
All right.
So, see you next week.
Yes.
It's been lovely talking to you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.